If you don't know who the Vanderbilts are by now, you've probably been living under a rock for the last century. But here's a recap anyways, just in case.
Out of every $20 in circulation belonged to Commodore Vanderbilt. He had more money than the U.S. Treasury.
The Vanderbilts were once the world's richest family and made millions in the railroad and shipping industries. Their legacy started with Cornelius, the Commodore Vanderbilt, who came from a poor farming family in New York. Cornelius was smart, though. With the resources that he had at his disposal, he launched his own transport and freight company, eventually investing in railroads and steamships to create one of the largest empires in America, and became one of the richest people at that time. The Commodore basically had the power to set up every future generation of his family for life, and spectacularly, utterly, and completely messed it all up. In this video, we're going to discuss why that actually happened, and is there any of the famous Vanderbilt fortune actually left? When Cornelius Vanderbilt died in 1877, he passed down the majority of his $95 million estate to his oldest son. This fortune would be roughly $2.1 billion in today's dollars. All of his other children received smaller inheritances. This specific son, who acquired the most of his father's fortune, actually quadrupled it over the next 10 years, generating the largest fortune in the world at the time. And his offspring, the Commodore's grandchildren, had spent practically all of it within a few short years. The Commodore's grandchildren and great-grandchildren constructed sprawling country estates. They spent millions of dollars creating these residences, and yet they were hardly used. They constructed summer cottages that were only used for a few weeks out of the year. Some of these homes, such as Biltmore, are now open for tours. The Biltmore estate is breathtakingly gorgeous and was originally a 10-square-mile private estate. It's over 170,000 square feet and was built at an estimated cost of $5 million at the time. In today's money, this equates to $138 million. There are numerous reasons as to why the family blew their fortune, but the first and most significant is that the Commodore did not teach his descendants how to retain it. Furthermore, he bequeathed most of his income to a single child, resulting in a lengthy legal battle over the will that lasted nearly 2 years. He picked the right child because this particular son doubled the fortune. The second reason the Vanderbilt family lost so much money appears to be due to one person, Alva Vanderbilt. Alva Vanderbilt married the Commodore's grandson and soon after the wedding went to work on spending the cash. Desperate to be accepted by the in crowd, she resolved to construct the greatest mansion in New York to gain their favor. The house took 3 years to build and was finished in 1883. The overall cost was around $3 million at the time, which would be approximately $70 million in today's dollars. Cornelius' son, Reginald Reggie Claypool Vanderbilt, an enthusiastic gambler and playboy, was perhaps the most renowned fourth-generation Vanderbilt. He was the grandfather of CNN anchor Anderson Cooper and the father of fashion designer Gloria Vanderbilt. His brother, Cornelius Neely Vanderbilt III, also spent enormous sums to maintain his high society image. So what did Anderson Cooper actually inherit from the Vanderbilt fortune? The short answer? Almost nothing. Despite being the dependent of one of the richest people in the country, Anderson Cooper has stated in interviews that he never expected an easy ride in life, including a trust fund from his heiress mother, fashion designer and writer Gloria Vanderbilt. Nonetheless, there were rumors that Cooper would inherit a significant fortune, possibly as much as $200 million, after his mother, Gloria Vanderbilt, died in 2019 at the age of 95. Cooper's inheritance is far from $200 million, it turns out. Gloria Vanderbilt's will stated that her oldest son, Leopold Stan Stokowski, would inherit her Manhattan Co-op, valued at $1.2 million, and Cooper would receive the remainder of her fortune, valued at less than $1.5 million. Anything close to $1.5 million is a nice sum to most individuals. To be clear, there is a significant distinction between rich people broke and poor people broke, but the Vanderbilts were never like most people. Anderson Cooper appears to have done well for himself, earning an estimated $11 million per year as a CNN news anchor. Cooper stated that he does not believe in inheriting money, and that he thought there was a pot of gold waiting for him, he would not be as motivated as he is now. Cornelius, the founding patriarch of the famed Gilded Age family, once commanded a shipping and railroad empire that made him one of the wealthiest men in the world. The Vanderbilts are best known for displaying their extravagant wealth by erecting opulent mansions on Manhattan's Fifth Avenue, in Newport, Rhode Island, and in North Carolina. But by the late 20th century, their fortune had shrunk to nothing, just 100 years after the Commodore had surpassed his father as America's richest man and his son as the world's richest man. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in learning more about one of the richest families in America, check out one of our videos about the history of the Vanderbilt family right here. Plus, even more videos about your favorite wealthy families are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.